Guys, welcome to my channel. We are reading K.R. Alexander Last Laugh, and I did get permission from Scholastic to read this book. We are on chapter 6 on this video, so I'm just going to continue reading on chapter 6. That's page 30. Chapter 6. Sarah returns less than 2 hours later. How was practice, I ask, as innocently as I can. Fine, she replies. We're playing at a dark note next week, and Alex wants us to have everything memorized by then. Like, what happened? The Dark Note is our town's only cafe. They host open mics for all ages on Fridays nights. So even though it won't be like their show, it's also the first time they will be performed anywhere other than Alex's garage. You can do it if you apply yourself, Genevieve says from her spot on the sofa. Ish. Does she read motivationally posters in her free time? Thanks, twerp. Genevieve rolls her eyes. I'm gonna grab a snack in the kitchen, Sarah says. Anyone want anything? Cotton candy pizza. Unicorn hot dogs. Ugh, I don't even know why I ask. Sarah groans. Sarah heads into the kitchen, and I go back to playing my game, wishing it was bedtime for the first time in my life, because pretending that I'm not waiting for Sarah to pull back the covers and scream is harder than I expected. That's why when Sarah yelped from the kitchen, the only thing I think of is it the clown? Which is stupid, because obviously not. What is it? I asked. Genevieve and I stand up and go into the kitchen to see Sarah standing over the sink, one hand on her mouth. Which one of you did this? Sarah asks. She looks at me accusingly, because Genevieve is basically the family angel. What are you talking about? This! She points into the sink. My gut gives a lurk as I walk over to look inside. There's half shoved down the garbage disposal, the clothes that Sarah brought over. Her t-shirt poked up from the drain, and wet socks hanging over the spout. At first I think they're covered in blood. Then I realize. Really? Sarah demanded. Ketchup again? Grow up, Victor. With angry sigh, she yanks her clothes from the drain and begins washing the ketchup off with soap and water. At least you were nice enough not to turn on the garbage disposal, Sarah says gruffly. I didn't do it. I finally says, right. She replies, who did? The cats? It wasn't me, I insisted. It wasn't me either, Genevieve says. I know it wasn't you, twerp. Sarah glares at me. Now I have to go back home and get clean clothes. Are you going to be the one to tell Dad why I had to leave during dinner? I look to the clock to the wall. Dad won't be here for at least half an hour. Can't you go now? I ask. And leave you alone again? Heck no. She wrings out her clothes and drapes them over the faucet. Was this your payback for me leaving? No, I say. I didn't. What then? Some sort of joke? Well, I'm not laughing, Victor. Grow up. She looks at me for the moment. You know what? Mom put me in charge, and I think you need to go to your room. It's so ridiculous, I almost laugh. Sarah's punishing me after she literally just broke the rules by leaving. But her glare stops that laugh in my throat. I didn't do it, I managed to whisper. Then who did? She presses. It's such an innocent question. It should be easy to answer, but I have no clue. I was with Genevieve all the day, and unless the cats have somehow developed opposable thumbs and the ability to open the refrigerator, there are no other suspects. The front door has been locked this whole time. Maybe the house is haunted, Genevieve peeps up. I actually jump a bit. I forgot she was still standing there. Very funny, Sarah replies. She points to the hallway. Room now. You can come out when Dad is home. I grumble under my breath and tromp to the room, shutting the door behind me. I don't know what's worse, being in trouble for something I didn't do, or not knowing how in the world the clothes got in there. It just shouldn't be possible. The room feels cold, colder than before, but it's probably my imagination. I sit down on my cot, pull out my phone, and start to text Gretch to complain about how unfair this is. Then I pause. I look up against the guest bed. The terrible idea forms as I stare at the spot where I had hid the clown, but hadn't I tucked the covers in before then that? No, I couldn't have been. Could it? I set the phone down and stand up, trying to ignore the fact my legs and hands are shaking carefully, as though there might be a live snake under there. I pull back the comforter. I don't realize I'm holding my breath until I let out a relief. The clown is still there, hiding, just where I left it. Of course it is. Get a hold of yourself, I whisper. I tuck the clown back under the covers and smooth them out so no one will notice a thing. Then flop back down on my cot and text my friend. But even then I can't focus. All I can think about are Sarah's sewed-in clothes and who put them there. I look up to the numerous figurines and statues filling the room. Almost all of them seem to be watching me. It makes me wonder if Genevieve and I were as alone in here earlier as we thought. Chapter 7. Did you give them catnip or something? Dad asks at the dinner, staring at the cats as they run circles around the room. He got to Grandma's house 5 minutes before expected and gave me a serious dad talk after Sarah forced me to explain why I was basically in the timeout. Even though I hated doing it, I lied and said I had put the clothes in the sink. Telling the truth would have made everything worse. We haven't given the cats any catnip, Genevieve says, but they have been acting weird. They knocked over Grandma's vases. Huh? Dad replies, that's strange. They're usually so careful. He's watching as the cats ponker around the room, leaping from furniture and chasing one another. I've never seen them so energetic. Yeah, Sarah replies. Everyone's been acting a little strange today. She looks at me when she says it. Maybe it's a full moon. I don't answer. I just eat my food and ignore her pointed remarks. The sooner our stay is over, the better. After dinner, when the cats have finally tired themselves out, and I've washed all the dishes and the final part of my punishment, Sarah grabs the keys. I'll be back, she says. Drive safe, Dad says. She looks at me before she goes. If I come back to find anything else of mine trash, you won't, I say. I won't let him out of my sight, Dad assures her. Which, actually, how did he steal your clothes in the first place? Sarah hesitates. I was in the bathroom, Dad flushes. Before it gets any more awkward, Sarah leaves. Dad flops back on the sofa and turns on the TV to some local channel. Genevieve sits down next to him. Ew, Dad, she says, wrinkling her nose. You smell. Dad grins widely and sniffs his armpits. I do, he asked. Then he grabs her and pretends to try to bury her head under his arms. Genevieve squeals and struggles away. Okay, you may have a point, Dad says. I smell like a restaurant. I'll shower. He stands and points to Genevieve, adopting the mock-serious face. I leave your brother in your wise hands. Genevieve, don't let him get in trouble. Genevieve is entirely serious when she replies, I won't, Daddy. Dad chuckles and heads into the bathroom. I'm so glad they're having fun at my expense. The moment we hear the shower run, Genevieve pulls me into the kitchen. What are you doing? I ask. Shh, she replies. She drops her voice and looks around. When she looks at me, her eyes are serious and scared. Did you do it? We haven't had the chance to talk since Sarah got home and accused me of ruining her clothes. It's clear Genevieve has been wanting to ask all night. What? No, of course I didn't. I was by your side the whole time, remember? She bites her lip. That's what I was afraid of. Someday she'll be old enough to match the way she talks. Someday. She continues and asks, but if neither of us did it, who did? I try to think of something witty, but I've got nothing. I just shrug. Genevieve takes a deep, steady breath, then looks me right in the eye when she says, I think the clown did it. I can't help it. I laugh just a little. Then I realize she isn't joking, and the laugh dies. You're serious, I ask. She nods. Think about it. The cats have been acting weird, acting strange ever since we went in there. I think they were trying to warn us. They're cats, Genevieve. They aren't that smart. They lick their own butts. That's for cleanliness, Genevieve retorts. And I know you don't have a better explanation. I want to give her another explanation. I even start saying but then I stop. I've got nothing, she's right. I need to put the clown back, she says. But we're so close, and after what Sarah did to me, that's more reason to put it back. You don't want Sarah getting any angrier. You're already in trouble, and Dad won't find it funny if you're caught stealing from Grandma's bedroom. Her fists are balled, and she can be stubborn when she sets her mind to it, just like the rest of us. I know she's right. I don't need to be grounded all the week again, especially when I only did one of the things I've been blamed for. Okay, I relent. Let's go put the clown doll back while Dad's still in the shower. She nods, and we tiptoe down the hall to the guest room. I'll be on the lookout, she says, waiting at the door and looking towards the bathroom. I roll my eyes and hurry to the bed. I pull back the cover and stop in my tracks. What's taking you so long? Genevieve asks. I don't answer. I can't. This doesn't make any sense. Genevieve tiptoes over. Don't tell me She pauses. Please tell me you did this, she whispers. I shake my head. I've been in the bedroom for most of the day. I only left for dinner, and I know that no one else came in here, and yet the doll is gone. Alright, and that is the end of Chapter 7. I will see you guys in Chapter 8 video. Have a good day.